add some more water to this so it's not so hydrophobic. I just mix some fresh soil. I usually like to do it in a little pot, and what I'll do is just take like, the size pot that I'm going to be putting this in, and do however many pots in that time, just many scoops. Then we can just fill in the gaps later, but get it nice and moist so it actually it's a lot easier to hydrate it in a flat pot. Yo, just planting some giant mulchi seeds. I got 5 of them. Figured, why not? They were available, and I haven't seen them available for a while, and couldn't hurt. But I was just saying, I was mixing some soil, and the peat moss is so hydrophobic. I like to put it in a flat pan with some water, just kind of smush it into it a little bit to make it damp, because otherwise it just, when you go to water the pots in, they just the water floats on the top of it. But as long as you kind of mix it in a little bit, it loses that hydrophobic property. And I started wearing I'm not wearing one right now, but like whenever I'm actually mixing the soil, I have to wear a mask, like one of those that you would use for like spray paint, because otherwise you get brown boogers and it's not a good time. But when you wet it like this, you don't have to worry about that either. But I got 5 seeds, and they look pretty good. Like they almost look like Garcinia seeds. Let's see if I can get it to focus. But kind of interesting. Why are you not focusing? There we go. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're not going to worry about it focusing too much. But I wonder, I haven't noticed it with the dwarf mulchi, which I only had 1 seed pop up, and it's been pretty hard to take care of. But the Kambuka definitely has like a big taproot on it, so I'm assuming that this one also has like a big taproot on it. And I think if I had more of those tall pots like I used for the Garcinias, I would have put them in there instead. But I'm just going to use these like 4-inch, 5-inch pots. I think it'll be fine. It's a little easier to see what's going on. But I don't know, I'm probably going to do like that much, and then judging by how big the seed is. Yeah, they haven't been very happy for me. Like, even, I'll show you here in a second once I get these planted, but, like, I've got one that is green, and even then, like, it's got, like, burnt tips on it, and, like, I don't know, they're pretty rough. And like I've got plenty of Clausa that's a little harder than the Kambuka, and but it still does a little better than the dwarf mulch. And even then, it could just be that specific plant, because I only have 1 Clausa. But I've also had Kambukas just kind of croak on me randomly too. But that could have just been I don't know what caused that. Like, it was like a nice big plant in like a 3-gallon pot. And then all of a sudden, all the leaves dropped off, and it was dead, just out of nowhere. And like, it was just super healthy before, but it's probably just a feature of the that, I don't know, family within the Jabos. Like, I don't know, they're harder to keep happy. I think they really want to be in the ground. That's what it is. Like, it has to be. This one's a little smaller of a seed, but I find most of the stuff really just wants to be in the ground. As soon as they get put in a pot, or as soon as they start maxing out the pot, they start to decline. with like the tap rooted ones. Let's see. I've got these, so I've got these wider square pots, and I've got a couple of, they're about the same height, so it should be fine. I don't imagine they're going to fill the pot up. I'm just kind of giving them room to expand vertically, but they should be just as good. I probably should have put the smaller seeds in these ones, but let's see. So, bam. I'm just putting them in sideways too. It'll figure it out. I'll make some tags. I did a whole bunch of Coke can tags a couple of weeks ago, so I've got like 50 of them ready to go. Hey. Let's see, how many more we got? Just 2 more seeds. I'll show the variegated, what do you call it? Variegated Luke's Garcinia here in a second too. It's actually, I'm pretty sure it's variegated. Like, it looks pretty dang striking, and it's starting to harden off, and the variegation is like even more obvious at this point. So that's kind of a cool thing. Let's see. Let's put it in flat again like that. Ta-da! And I'll probably put these in, I don't know if I'm going to put them in one of my humidity domes or not. I'm not sure what they need. I'll probably end up doing that. Just in the corner over here in the shade. So I think I got just enough soil. Turns out I can count. Let's see. For anyone wondering, this is just perlite, peat moss, and some holly tone. And I did like a little bit of sand in there too, just to give it a bit of, I don't know. I don't know why I do it. I just like kind of adding sand to it these days. Just because eventually it's going to be, whoop, knocked it over. Eventually these things are probably going to be planted in Florida soil in a greenhouse somewhere. I prefer them to have a little bit of what they're going to be going into. No science behind that, just kind of my thought process at work. Alright, so these are all packed in pretty nice. I don't push too hard down because I'm going to put some water in them, and then I'm going to have to probably top them off. Let's see. So yeah, 5. Do I have a cup that I can pour? I'll just use this guy. I'm just going to do this on all these guys. You can kind of see all the voids that, or all the air pockets in there once you do this. Don't really want a lot of air pockets, it kind of messes things up. But if I didn't wet the soil beforehand, it would have just sat on top and been extremely hydrophobic. But now I can kind of see what all in here I need to do. And usually I can just tap it down a little more now that the water's gone through. I might do a little extra on this guy. But it seems pretty good. We'll let that sit for a minute. But I'll go over here and show the kind of the other things I was talking about. So I've got, here's the dwarf mulchi right here. I just give it a hit of fertilizer because it's looking like it's a little burnt up on the tips there. It's got some new growth, which is a good sign, but I don't know. It's been pretty rough to keep happy. And there's another one in here. Where's it at? Like this guy also, like it's shot up a couple times and died back, and I actually repotted it because the seed is still in there and it's green and it has, you know, healthy looking roots. It's just anytime it pops up, it like burns back or dies back and looks burnt up like that. And you know, in like 2 months another stalk will come up. And where's the other one? Yeah, there's another one here behind this jabo that it's just, it's still alive. but it's not there. So, but here's the variegated Lukes. This is one of the jumbo variety, but I'm pretty confident that that's variegated. Like that, like before, I had some other stuff that was looking kind of like it was variegated, but like that has to be. I don't know. I don't know what would cause that other than that. It's such a cool pattern on it, and I don't know if anybody else has a variegated Luke's. Like I've tried to Google online. I'm sure somebody does, but not anyone who's on the internet. And yeah, so hopefully I'll be able to get that thing growing fast, and I can share some with people because I'm gonna end up killing it if I'm just the only one who has it. But where did I put the? Yeah, here's the other. I always forget the name of this one. Klausa, plenty of Klausa. Like it's doing pretty good. It died back just like the Mulchi did, like sometime earlier in the year. I'm not sure what happened there. I don't know if it got like dried out and I didn't notice, but it is getting some. This is probably just bug damage actually, because I had some aphids coming in here, getting on the tips. But it's got new growth coming out. I hit it with some fertilizer a little bit. Looks like there was some fungal issues too potentially. But I actually moved it over here onto the table, and it's getting a bit more sun, and it seems to be responding better to that. Like maybe it just wasn't getting enough sunlight. So it gets about, was it noon now? It was getting like maybe 4 hours of sun before, and I had it like under the shade of the Jabos over there. And I moved it over here, and it's pushed out like all of this. So I don't know. They're kind of an enigma, but I guess while I got some folks in here, I'll just walk around and talk about some random stuff. But here's another Kambuka. It had some sucking insects on it that caused it to get some sooty mold, and so this is fine. This actually rubs off if you hit it with a hose and run your fingers on it, it'll come off. But a whole bunch of new growth. Like this time of the year, like once you get through summer and things start cooling down, like the Jabos really start popping off in Florida. Like just all the new growth, and they'll start flowering too. And it's like my red is going crazy. Got a lot of fruit on here. We had a my son's birthday party this weekend, and people were like, "What is this plant?" And they came and ate like most of the fruit off the tree, which is kind of fun. But like the Kambuka over here, like I did a video on it earlier in the year. Well, not earlier in the year, earlier in the month, and it just started pushing out a whole bunch of new growth, and it's like doubled in size from then. Like I think this is like 2 flushes or something crazy. Like it's gonna be bigger, but it's and it gets full sun. I put it in here when it was like a 1 gallon. I want to say it's about a year old. I put it in the ground. It was one of my earlier videos, like end of January, like 2023. I want to say, and like it struggled a little bit just from like once it transitioned from like springtime to summer UV index on the sun. But I find that as long as you keep it like a little bit with water, it doesn't really do too bad. That's the trick with a lot of these. Like even the mangosteen over here, like if you come out during the day, you're not necessarily even watering it. You're just like cooling the leaves off. It can hang the sun, and you see this is what happens whenever they get burnt up from the sunlight. It just like the young new growth on it's just like so tender, and it like flops over like a piece of like cellophane, and like it just cooks. But we got a couple of fruits on it that are like they're holding. Oh, there's a dang wasp flying in my face. Get out of here. But they're getting up to size. I'd say like, what is that? It'll probably get maybe 50%, 75% bigger than that. It'll start turning yellow, I want to say. Something like that. Pretty excited about these guys. There's maybe like 10 fruit on it for the first time. Let's see. I'm looking for more. Yeah, here's some more down here. And then one right there. You have these little black spots on them. I'm not sure what that is, but it's like bugs nibbling on them. But I'm sure this is one of those fruit trees where like you don't, you won't see the fruit. Oh, actually, yeah, here's another flower. I didn't even see that one. So it's like you won't even see the fruit until they're starting to turn ripe. But we got like a sugar apple over here. That's pretty close. Let's see. Yeah, maybe a few more days on that thing. But yeah, so it's a good time of year, but we gotta start getting ready for the cold weather because it can come out of nowhere. Like even like in like around Christmas time, like it'll be 85 degrees out one week, and then the next week it'll be you get that cold front that pushes down, and it kind of goes into the Lakeland area and then pushes into the Tampa area, and it can dip down to like 20 degrees all of a sudden, and the plants just aren't ready for it. So I got to start prepping for that. But I'm not sure on this yellow jabo if this is new growth coming out or a flower. I want to say it's new growth, but like it's got some white on it, so it's making me think like it's a flower. This is just a run-of-the-mill random seedling. So it'd be cool to have that thing flower. Might be able to, I don't know, I might plant another one of the selected varieties right next to it. Get some better pollination going. And then I want to come over here and look at this too. Like I'm waiting for the achacha to push out like another set of new growth. It's been kind of slow on me this year. And there's like something that like tried to come out right there, but last year, the last time I think we had one set of new growth this year, but last year it was like pushing out like flushes regularly, and then we had Hurricane, was it Milton, come through, and it like burnt the entire flush that came out during Milton, and then this thing was like literally like laying down on the ground this way. So that's why I have, or maybe it was that way. That's why I have it propped up, and I've just left it propped up because I'm hoping that whatever damage to the roots that had happened because of that is going to resolve itself. But it's been pretty slow this year. It looks fine, but I'm not worried about it. It's just I feel like it's fruiting size, and I want some achachas. Like the lemon drop's kicking its ass in that regard, but hopefully these pigeon peas help shade it out a little bit. And this stuff in here is just a native goldenrod flower that's kind of popping up randomly around the yard. Let's see. And I haven't looked at this achacha over here since I put it in the ground. Take a look at that. This one, yeah, pretty much like in stasis for years once you put them in the ground. It got a little burnt. Actually, I think that was from the nursery, but it's pretty typical, like, at least in my yard, to put one of these things in the ground, and then they just don't change for 1 to 2 years, and then all of a sudden, you'll get like a good week of rain, and they start popping off. Like, that was definitely the lemon drop over there, and like this lemon drop over here, when I put it in the ground, the root ball fell apart, and it looked like trash for a while. And I would say it was like 1 or 2 years. It just was like visibly declining. And then all of a sudden, we've got this new growth, like here. I think this is the variety that's not got the nipple on the bottom. It's just like a perfect circle compared to the one over there. It'll look more like lemon grab from Adventure Time. But yeah, it's doing great at this point. Like I don't have an irrigation system out here as well. I'm sure if like I had something that was watering, for like 10 minutes every hour, every day, like a mister or something, like they would probably grow a lot faster. But I kind of want them to like get used to just being in Florida. Like I want to be able to have these things grow here without me really worrying about it or having to intervene too much. I think once like the old growth pops out and it's more of a I'm walking in the understory, they'll probably be more self-sustainable. But let's go over here and look at this guy while I'm live. Put this orangey Luke's in the ground a week ago. It's doing pretty good. I haven't looked at it since then, but I would say that it's pretty happy. I'm not seeing any leaf burn on it. It's probably a good spot. It's like under the Suriname cherry here, and under this pigeon pea. So it's protected from the wind and protected from the harsh sun. And the idea is like it'll grow up kind of like this way and eventually get past this stuff, or at least be able to get more sunlight by just being bigger. Let's see. I think that's almost it for what I want to talk about. But one last thing over here, and then I'm going to shut it off. But yeah, these Garcinia macrophylla goacres right here. I took the shade cloth off because I don't know if you can see it right now, but there's kind of like the house is like shading these out now. So like as you get to fall, like the shade kind of goes this way, and then as we go back into the new year, it'll come back this way. So I've got these pigeon peas here, and I'm kind of hoping that I won't have to bring the shade cloth back, and the pigeon peas will just give it the dappled light that it needs. But got two of them there. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. I think I'm gonna cut it off. It's pretty hot. The sun's coming out. Hey. I'm not gonna. I'll leave this video up if anyone wants to go back and see it from the beginning. But anyways, calling it. Y'all take care.